singing.
I can't. That's so stupid. I'm sorry.
I mean, the point was to try and have it to have that genuine Pokemon feel. You know what I'm saying?
That is a little at the end for me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm gonna keep it.
No, you good.
Okay, so um, hello everybody, and welcome to another episode for the Otaku Outsiders. This is probably a new voice for you guys to listen to. My name is Juju. You have heard me in the past when we were doing like the power scaling episode for the Otaku Outsiders. I promise I'm not a stranger. I am a person of interest. Not just kidding. But I'm also a member of the Otaku Outsiders. I'm very new, but at the same time, I'm like here hanging out and doing all my stuff. So, on today's episode, we're going to be talking about Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. We're going to be diving a little bit into the World Championship that is happening as we speak. It is 10:13 a.m. as of the time of the recording. So we are currently seeing a lot of the information live as it's happening. We're using the hashtags Pokemon Worlds on Twitter to keep ourselves informed and in the loop. But also, we have to talk about Generation 9. You know, it's happening. It's coming along. So, without further ado, I've already stated my name. My name is Juju. A gay named Juju on TikTok, and I used to run a podcast, which is still available on essentially Spotify and everywhere else that you can get a podcast to. It's been discontinued, but if you still want to listen to my old episodes, it's there called A Player Named Juju. So, that introduction out of the way, I am here with Sage from the Otaku Outsiders. Give us a bow, Sage.
All right, all right. It's one of the OGs from the original trio. As you heard, Juju, he claims that he's new. He not new. All right, he's the fourth person. I'ma just go ahead and clear that up because maybe he must have forgot. You the fourth person to this group. All right, we're now a quartet. We got two more
Develop.
people in the back that cannot join the recording along with Josh and Shadow. However, this is a Pokemon connoisseur slash expertise podcast episode.
Hey,
So
hey,
going ahead
hey.
and get prepared because we are not only going to discuss Generation 9, we're also going to discuss a little bit in detail as far as the live results of the World Championships, along with what the video game is upcoming and what we have so far. But we also need to discuss a couple of things from the anime. Now, we are going to give another episode at a later time, going into full detail about it. But
Mm-hmm.
we got some recent changes that leads to some questions. So I'm gonna pick the first topic and let's just dive straight
Oh,
into the.
before you continue with that, I'm sorry that I'm interrupting. As of just 1 minute ago, we have a seniors world champion. Congratulations to Yazuharu S, who just won the seniors division for the Pokemon World Championship
Wait,
2022.
for those listening to the uncut version, including the before our introduction, yeah, he pretty much said Kai. I mean, Kaido Maxa on that shit.
He rolled up to the joint. Okay, so let's look at his team
Yes.
now that we're going off with it. Like he just won and it was a clean sweep. Let me just look up what he just rolled up to the point with. Okay, so Yasuharu rolled up to the battle with a Groudon, Venusaur, Incineroar, Bronzong, Sashin, and Thundurus, normal Thundurus, not the Therian form, versus his opponent who was running a Kartana, Thundurus, Whimsicott, Shedinja, the first time a Shedinja ever makes it to the finals of Worlds, uh, a Sachin, and a Kyogre. However, Yasuharu got the W with G-Max Venusaur partnered next to a Groudon. So what we're looking at was a full-on chlorophyll ability Sunlight under the conditions sweep from Venusaur, outspeeding most everybody inside of the division with him.
Yeah,
That was a really clean sweep, by the way. He only lost like what? No, I think he only lost two Pokemons, but then at the end it was just Venusaur and Groudon.
yeah.
So that was a hardcore victory for him.
That was such a dirty crit game, is what I'm reading inside the Twitter feed right now. It,
Hmm.
like this
And
man,
a lot of people are repping for Venusaur though, because this is the first time that Venusaur has, you know, been in a championship and actually won.
yeah, that was just a lot taken.
That is amazing. Also, it's just like how we're seeing a lot of things from like a lot of different people on Twitter and everything, just joshing and like dunking on Charizard because apparently Blastoise won the junior division and Venusaur just won the senior division, and Charizard was nowhere to be seen.
Yeah, I'm
I pro
speechless after.
I'm pro I promise I'm not bitter. I promise I'm not mad. I was just like Charizard just got dunked. Uh, anyways, so
I mean,
let's
respect
go.
for Bulbasaur, definitely on that.
Hmm.
But we gonna get back into it. Okay.
Yeah, let's definitely get back into it. So we have to talk about Scarlet and Violet. You know, the brand new Generation 9 games are just around the corner. It's like what, September, October, just basically 2 months and a half away
Oh yeah.
from getting to our hands, and I want them so bad. So before we even do anything else, which team are you repping? Are you repping Team Scarlet or are you repping Team Violet?
Listen. So by default, because I'm obviously gonna play both games, but from the beginning, I agreed to play Pokemon Violet. Also, I have another reason for picking Violet, not because of a star that we all know and love. But no, somebody else decided, yeah, I'm picking the red box, so I had to take the purple. But
Okay, okay.
I'm repping the D wheel because I am a Yu-Gi-Oh fan, and I'm sorry for y'all Scarlet people. The fact that we have motorcycles, the legendaries are motorcycles, and you mean to tell me Scarlet's version is still walking on all fours, even though it's a full-on motorcycle? That's a problem. That's a
Listen, it goes
problem.
Ooga Booga, okay? Okay, like listen, Koraidon goes Ooga Booga and we love him, okay? Like he goes Unga Boonga and he goes Ooga Booga and he
Like
runs on all
I
fours
get the
and like I
prehistoric
love him.
thing, but like the wheel wasn't created in the past. They created the wheel in caveman times. So like, what's going on here? I need to know.
Listen, listen, we will talk about the legendary designs in a little bit, but it's nice to know that you're repping for Team Violet. I'm repping for Team Scarlet. I did that change with my best friend. When the games came out, we were like, "Which one are you picking? Which one are you picking?" It's like, "Oh, I'm picking Team Scarlet," and I was like, "Okay, fine." Then I'm guessing I'm going for Team Violet. But we have a thing between us. It's like we get to switch the version once. Like when we initially see the version, we take a pick, and then as more information comes along and we get to see which things are in which version of the games, we have the discussion before the games comes out and we can switch once. And then he made the switch when the professors got revealed, and he was like, damn, Turo be looking fine. So he made me switch versions just because he was thirsting over Turo, and I will not let him live this down. I
Oh,
will not let him
so
live
you know
this
what you
down.
gotta do. You gotta beat his ass within the game. Like it's on site.
Oh, he has never beaten me a day in his life. We've known each other for 4 years. Whenever he tries to decides to battle me, he has never beaten me. Like it's gotten to the point where the battles are one-sided that I don't even look at the screen anymore. I just look at his face and he crumbles. It's like a whole warfare. Like, listen, it's not even a beef. It's like he thinks he has beef with me, and I just think it's cute. You know what I mean?
Oh damn. Damn,
It's
I
it's
was
so
about to give you the Michael Bay Films treatment with the "It's on site," about to be like.
it's the problem is that it's so one-sided that I feel bad for the kid. Like he tries, he really, really, really tries. So it's like, dude, really? Oh, okay, cool. Like he will do heavy damage, but not enough to take out one of my Pokemon. And it's like, yeah. And then like there goes half of his team. It's like,
Oh, so essentially, what you're saying is you did what Cynthia did to Iris. I know that's like a hella early call out, but we- that's what it sounded like.
essentially it is. Essentially it is. So we're
Do
repping for
you
Team
run?
Skylar. We're
Hold on.
Do I run what?
Do you run a Milotic by any chance?
I actually don't.
Okay, good. Because
I
I was
actually
about to
don't.
say, once you said essentially, I was like, I hope he don't run Milotic and did exactly what Cynthia did. That would have been just.
No, no, no. I run my Lodic on like more casual teams, but like we were facing each other with like the team that we had for the main story. That's how we battle.
Oh, okay.
Like essentially. So it's like my team consisted on Rillaboom, Corviknight, low key form of Toxtricity, Bolthound, Scorch, and a Galarian Rapidash. Like I double dipped on the electric type, but essentially when he came up to the plate, his team was essentially the same except for Inteleon, and instead of Scorch, he was running some other fire type from the game. Like, I keep forgetting which one it was. But like the point is, it's like when we clash, it's like okay, cool, sit your ass down. That's essentially what I do for him. But anyways, enough about that. So, Garden of Violet got revealed on February. With the first initial trailer, what we got was just random clips and essentially like a little bit of movement within the game, and then we got revealed the starters, which are Sprigatito, Fuecoco, and then Quaxley. I'm Team Quaxley. I know for a fact that you're also Team Quaxley, correct?
Yes.
Awesome, awesome. So essentially, what we got was that, but we still didn't have the initial name for the region. So, just going like by what you remember from February, how hyped were you, or were you also part of the team that was like, maybe this is still a little bit too early because we're still riding the wave from Pokemon Legends of Arceus?
So my whole look at it was Pokemon Legends Arceus just gave me clarity on an extensive 10-year journey as a trainer trying to complete my legendary quest. I was like, I'm
Mm,
not going to call myself a Pokemon trainer that collects legendaries if I can't have one. And I just wanted one, which was Arceus. I've always been a
mm-hmm,
fan since uh his movie. We're not talking about Hoopa for the new kids. I'm sorry. No, no. Let's break out the books and talk about the Jewel of Life. I saw that. I was like, okay, yeah, that's the god of Pokemon right there. He proved it. It is what it is. And then I also played Pokemon Conquest. So I needed to play Legends Arceus to capture Arceus. And then I did it in the remakes. However, as far as getting Gen 9 news while we're still like mid season for Legends Arceus, I can tell you right now, I dropped the game as soon as I finished. I was like, I completed the main Pokedex. I only need to catch like three more. then you can perfect it if you want to, but then it's nothing else left to it, you know? Everybody, including myself, for the most part, Juju, you can correct me if I'm wrong when I say this, but we're
Mm-hmm.
looking for that open world Pokemon game where we get the gym leaders from all regions. There's no more level cap, it's straight skill, almost similar to an anime. I know that's like 10 years away from now if we ever do get it, but that's essentially where our level
Where
is
your
at.
mindset is at.
Yeah,
Okay,
so once
okay.
I finished Legends Arceus and I went through the challenge of God, because I did get
Mm-hmm.
my ass whooped by Arceus. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. I don't play Dark Souls games. And yeah, he whooped my ass multiple times.
He whooped you real good. Like I would say for a fact, like it's still like how many months has it been since Arceus came out? Okay, so Arceus came out in January. We're in August, so essentially it's been 7 months, and I still haven't been able to like completely 100% the whole story because I'm still on the process of completing the video game, the Pokedex. But the majority of the scale, like essentially, I already seen the first end credits. Essentially in what you would call the post game for Legends of Arceus. But we'll say this: I was part of the team that was like suspicious about it on the first thing, like going by my initial question, and it was like because I did not expect Generation 9. It's something that completely threw me off when they did the reveal for it because like what I was expecting that happened on the International Day of Pokemon was that we were going to get the usual Pokemon countdown where we see the top 10 world favorite Pokemons. I was expecting to see one of the evolutions there, maybe even Greninja because people still hype up the frog. I If I say the frog, you already know how I feel about it. I think it's a little bit too overhyped for what we did ended up getting. I'm not too much of a big fan for it. I still believe that if they were gonna give this much hype to Greninja, they should have given it to the other two, because essentially Delphox and Chestnut got shafted, but the one that got like the really, really, really short end of the stick was Chestnut, because we don't even see him in anywhere else. Like at least we see Delphox or Brigson in like Pokken or Pokemon Unite now with Delphox being in the game and Greninja is in the game.
No, but
Sorry about that.
Chestnut he got his up. He's getting his up as we speak. But I'll again everything has to come back later once we start talking about the anime because Leon he used Chestnut and got in that ass.
No, no, that was Alon.
Pause.
That was
Pause
Alon,
in the
and
same
Alon got
sentence.
beat. Sorry. Oh, Sosa, you scared me.
I was like, oh, let me hop in and see how they're doing.
Yeah, we're doing fine.
Chestnut, and he got in their ass. I was like, whoa, pause. Pause.
No, no, like he got beat. Like that's essentially what we're saying. Can we help you? I feel like you just like interrupted. Like, what you need?
No, I decided to just like hop in and add some commentary, just like pretend I'm not
Okay,
here.
so essentially,
Oh,
to
hold on, wait,
everybody
hold on,
who's
wait,
been
hold on,
listening,
wait. Before we even continue, how many badges you got, bro?
how many badges you got? Right,
Badge check right now.
I
bad
have less
check.
than 8. Actually no. I think no. I have all 8. I have all 8 from Brilliant Diamond. I ain't got no math.
Oh, okay.
Essentially, you only have like the 8 from Sinnoh. Got it. Okay, cool.
Hold on, wait. Did you
So
beat Cynthia? Did you go through the nightmare?
No, because I haven't touched that game in like 2, maybe 3 months.
Okay,
then
even if
you can't sit with us.
Sagna, Sagna.
No, we were pink on Friday, right? And unfortunately, because we haven't beaten the game, you can't. You need a toodaloo. Okay, all right. I'll see how it is.
Listen, we actually have to go through a back check in the games before you can touch the league. You can try to arrive to the Pokemon League early as fuck, even if the game's allowed you to. But once they see that you don't have the badges, they're gonna turn you around and say, "Nah, you're not worthy. Don't come through." They did that in Kalos, Kanto, and I believe Hoenn.
Yeah, there was like a part. There was a part on Hoenn that you can just arrive to the Pokemon League before like the thing. But I believe it was like on early Ruby and Sapphire.
Yeah,
So, anyways, back to the topic at hand. By the way, to those listening in and wondering what the heck was that? That was Sosa. The essential patriarch of the podcast. He just hopped in a little bit to check on the kids, I guess. But anyways, on to what I was saying. Yeah,
Unless
but here's the
I'll just let
what?
the children run wild.
Okay,
good job.
okay. Uh, there's
Hey,
anyways.
I'm at the gym. Like I'm trying to keep myself entertained because I got like I got 5 hours to kill for unnecessary reasons. So yeah.
Okay, so Sal, on mute. Thank you. So essentially, what I was saying was, Chestnut still gets essentially shafted. Alon used Chestnut, not Leon. Leon used Rillaboom.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're
Chest
right.
Chestnut tried it, and I'm glad that they at least gave him more than 2 minutes on screen time. But still, he ended up getting beat. The one redeeming factor would have to I would always say that, like, the one redeeming factor would have been to see Chestnut on either Pokken or on either Pokemon Unite. We still have hope for Pokemon Unite, but essentially what happened was, even this year, actually, just like 2 days ago, to continue on with Generation 9 and everything new that is happening and whatnot, Pokken got discontinued essentially from like World Championships, and to be eligible in the Pokemon Play program. Pokemon has
So
basically been
can you explain for everyone else, including myself, what the hell Pokken is? Because I
okay.
had never heard of it until we
So
started talking about this.
Pokken Deluxe DX are essentially video games made for the Nintendo Wii U and the Nintendo Switch, where it was a Pokemon cross Tekken inspired fighting game. It was basically a roster of around, was it 20, 25 Pokemon that they ended up adding, that you could choose to fight against one another in the classic arcade style of Tekken. And you would essentially pit, and they had like a little bit of a story progression to it. Nothing too big, but they still had like a little bit of a story into it. But essentially, what happened with Pokken was that after they did the move to the Switch, after they essentially added two new battlers into it, Pokken just went out into obscurity. It was still considered for the championships. It was still considered for the Pokemon League and for the Pokemon Play program, but essentially they stopped developing. They stopped working on it. They stopped doing the things for it, and fans were a little bit disheartened by it. We were expecting to see so much more from it. Like, we had Suicune, we had Gardevoir, we had Braixen in the game. Obviously, Garchomp had to be in it somewhere. And the initial reveal for the game was with Lucario, Pikachu, Blaziken, Sceptile was in it. We were expecting to see perhaps maybe even whatchamacallit, Swampert, Venus, no, Blastoise and Charizard were in the game. Like, a lot of people were actually hyped for it, but it ended up getting discontinued, and a lot of the people that have championship for it will eventually feel shafted. And what we thought was that maybe Chestnut was going to get like a second breath inside of the scene of Pokemon, but we didn't. And now we're just waiting to see if maybe he appears on Pokemon Unite. But even then, it's like, we're not gonna get too much. So this is circling back to the main question that I had for myself, that I made originally, like about 10 minutes ago. Essentially, what I thought was that Generation 9 was not gonna happen this year. I was fully with the program of, oh, maybe it's coming next year. Like I was going under the impression that we were gonna have maybe a DLC for Legends of Arceus, because remember that we're still on the Sinnoh region, right? And we essentially had these big three maps. But what we never got was the Battle Frontier map on the Sinnoh
Oh,
scale.
they
Like we yeah, like when you go to Snow Point City in the Sinnoh region, and you take that little boat that gets you to that other additional mass of islands where you had like the Battle Frontier and you had that additional other ecosystem. I thought we were gonna go there in Legends of Arceus with a DLC, but essentially what they did was like, oh, we're just doing the mass outbreaks and the potential of seeing alpha Pokemons and the evolved form of Pokemons in the wild. Not a bad concept, but not what I had in mind. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So
And
hold on. Aren't there like some Pokemon that can only evolve after you trade them?
yeah.
yes,
So
essentially there is, but in Pokemon Legends of Arceus, what they did was that they introduced an item called the Link Cable, like to
You
harbor
mean
back and do.
reintroduce? Even though I'm
No, like
20.
okay, yeah, but like the thing is, like the Link Cable was an IRL item, where you could potentially trade Pokemons with one another. Remember when we used to connect physically the Game Boys or the Game Boys Advance or the Game Boy SP to one another before the Wi-Fi connection, local connection thing happened? Oh my God, I just dated myself. Oh
Yeah,
my God, I feel so old.
I wasn't trying to
Oh,
do
I
that on purpose, but like it left the opportunity open.
Oh, my knees just cracked. I felt my spine de-align in several in several chords, and I was like,
knees hurt. Don't your knees hurt?
not just was kidding. Like, essentially, what Pokemon Legends of Arceus did was that they introduced the Link Cable item, and you could just give it to a Pokemon that would need to be traded to evolve, and you can just evolve it there. That's how you get Gengar. That's how you get Alakazam. That's how you get Machamp. You know, all the other good stuff.
Yeah.
So, so I thought we were going to see a little bit more development, at least for Legends of Arceus, since essentially they hyped it up into such a regard that I was expecting a little bit more from them. You know what I mean? I was like expecting maybe a little bit more from them. So you can imagine the sucker punch when we saw the first initial trailers. I actually liked them a lot. And those trailers, now looking back at it with all the information that we have right now, they actually said a lot without saying anything at all. Does that make sense?
Yeah. They
Because like they
literally put everything out on the plate in front of us. We took the plate and then was expecting more when really it was just, all right, here you go. This is what you get.
essentially, yeah, essentially, yeah. It was like we was like, oh, by the way, here's all these oranges, all these grapes. Here are the colors. Here are the things. Here's a general feel for it, and we're just like, oh, okay, cool. Because harving back and like throwing back to the initial trailer, remember we did see a lot of treasure maps and a lot of relics and a lot of like treasure hunting. It was essentially in a vault of treasure, and like now looking back at it with the information that we had from like the August trailer and the June trailer, we're like, huh, this makes more sense. So that's with that in mind, we're now going to leeway into the essentially the June trailer. Remember the June trailer? If not, then we can like pause for a second and like help you get oriented with it. That was the one where we actually got like the 2 minutes, the professor's revealed, and then the best Pokemon of all
Hold on.
times.
Hold on. Before we talk about them Pokemon, them trainers, they can get it. Like one, I would bark. The other one, I would be a dog for. There's a slight difference, but like who I can get at him. I I see you finally make a professor section. All right, I see you.
Finally,
My God, Sosa corner. We're not doing the thirsty stuff. Jesus.
Hold up. I ain't even
Why
going
not?
there, but I'm just saying, finally, what do you mean? Listen,
My
Professor
God.
Oak got game, okay? How you think Ash be getting a
Whoa,
whole
whoa,
allowance?
whoa, whoa, whoa.
That's a different story.
That is someone's like grandpa.
It's
That
his
is literally someone's
it's his
grandpa.
rival's grandfather, by the way.
It don't matter. That's like having Joseph Joestar as your dad, right? It's weird. It's weird when you're like 16 and he's in his 70s. It's fucking weird.
But he still did it though.
Oh my God.
We know what be happening in
All right,
Kanto.
so let's move on to the Pokemon that kind of looks like Joseph Joestar. On that note, the water type Dutch Pokemon kind of looks cute and adorable.
Oh, we already
Quaxley is
discussed him.
adorable, yes.
Yeah. That's the game.
Quaxley is adorable. We basically just said like their names and we haven't really gone in depth on them because like I'm getting to that, but like simps be gone. Okay? We're trying to keep
What do you
we're trying to
mean?
oh my God.
So without further ado, let's talk about the second trailer that we got in June, which essentially
Exactly.
it
It
was
just
two
revealed that
minutes.
we
Yeah.
it was 2 minutes. 2 minutes. First and foremost, they introduced Nemora. They introduced your rival that will do battle with you. And she revealed Palmy, which is this region's essentially Pika clone, how we got to call them. What do you think about Palmy? Do we like Palmy? Do we not like Palmy? Because I'm still like indifferent to it.
I mean, once it's confirmed as the Pika clone, I just stopped caring. I'm like, all right, this gonna be
Mm.
the Pika clone. Like, if I need the electric type, I know what to look for. I ain't really
Mm-hmm.
too avid about using Pikachu anyway, and that's just me personally. Unless I'm using it
Mm-hmm.
like red type Pikachu.
Okay. We'll circle back to that because we still need to like maybe a little bit further on this episode. We're gonna talk about the spoilers, and I'll circle back to you on that one. Okay.
Yeah,
So then we got Smoliv. Any feels for Smoliv? Any input? Because I thought it was kind of cute.
we're not talking about yeah, I remember.
Smoliv is the little small olive. It's literally in the name. Smoliv, like the one with the little the green kind of looks like a Boudieu with anxiety.
Okay, yeah, I remember who you're talking about now. That
Okay,
one
okay.
Wait,
I got high
they
hopes
letting
for.
You
they
have
letting
high hopes
Pokemon
for?
have emotions now?
Yeah, they've always had emotions. They've
I'm
literally made
joking.
Pokemon. They've literally made Pokemon based on emotions. In Galar, there's a Pokemon called a Hatine, Hatina, and Hatterene, which is essentially a vibe check in Pokemon form. Like it's literally stated in the Pokedex. If you have bad vibes, Hatterene will
Kill
find you
you.
and beat you up. And beat you up. I love it. It's like if I'm feeling an off day,
That's
a Hatterene will.
aggressive.
Uh, a
That's
Hatterene
really
will literally
aggressive.
a Hatterene will literally come into my house if I'm feeling a little bit off or if I'm little or feeling a little bit anxious and will beat me up. Honestly, a mood. Honestly, a vibe. That's a whole vibe and a half. That's like honestly, yes. Honestly, beat me up. Anyways, so we have Smoliv. I think it's kind of cute. I'm expecting a lot for it, but you know what I'm expecting? I'm not expecting it to evolve into like a Roserade type of Pokemon or like a Serena type of Pokemon. If anything, I want it to evolve into a Trevenant type of Pokemon. Do you know what I mean? You
Yeah.
know Trevenant?
Oh
Like I
yeah,
want it to be a
definitely.
whole. I want it to be a whole tree, like a whole olive tree, and it's just like, yeah, I started out small and kind of like wimpy, but then I evolved into like this tanky, like frontline type of thing, or maybe like a tanky supporter type of thing. Because essentially, olives are very important for like European culture and so on and so forth. But this is a game based on Spain, by the way. If you didn't know, now you do. But like you will extend the olive branch, as a form of like camaraderie and like friendship and so on and so forth. So it's like I'm expecting a little bit more of a supportive style with Olive. You know what I mean? Considering like the design scape and everything. Does
And
that make sense?
that's why I have high hope for it. Essentially, what you just said right there, and with it being, like extending the olive branch type analogy, literally,
Mm-hmm.
I just feel as if similar to. I'm kind of gonna reference the new champion in this case, right? So you take that G Max Venusaur. Now, even though we're not
Yeah.
gonna have G Max, we have a different gimmick this time.
Yeah.
Still,
And we're gonna talk
essentially,
about it when we get to the August trailer. Yes.
yeah. So when we get um the new grass type starter, for example, its new maximum grass type move, and then you just slap on the supportive power if they do take that route. Now they could just make this Pokemon evolve once and it be broken straight out the game. They could do that.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen it
They
with
could
Trevenant.
potentially do that.
Yeah, they could.
Yep.
But
Yep.
if they don't, still from a supportive mindset, that's a whole lot of support. Just saying, you can definitely
Mm-hmm.
use it like prankster ability, Whimsicott, and then you just slap on Cotton Guard, what's it called? Effect Spore. Essentially all the different types of status effects or ring effects.
It does not have Prankster. I believe it has other abilities. I think it's Early Bird and Chlorophyll, like either more speed or sleep. Really, just sleeps for one turn, and that's pretty much it. So we're gonna have to find out to see if the evolution brings anything else to the table. But essentially, what we got is that. And then what else? Oh, of course, the best Pokemon of all times, Lechonk.
Lechonk.
I love Lechonk so much. It's like, are you kidding me? It's like a little chunky pig, and I need to have one in my team. Like I basically stated that, and I will die on this hill. I will have a Lechonk and its evolution on my team till I finish the game. I'm not playing. I'm not like hesitating. Like it's going on my team, and I'm not stopping until like I finish the game with a Lechonk on my team. Like it, it,
So,
it is
so what you're
happening.
saying is you want the chunky beefy boy on your thing just because it's the chunky beefy boy that you can turn into bacon in real work in real life.
Corner now. Corner
This is what
now.
happens when I don't have to be in charge and I can be in the chaos. It feels good. Now I see why you guys do it.
But no, see, Lechonk for me is going to be a redemption arc for my first beginning Pokemon story. Now, me being a full American here in the chat, the Unova region had a whole bunch of hype to it, but they did my man's Tim Pig bad. Pig Knight was decent. Embor, you just took away all of his speed. He was a heavy hitter, all right, and I still
Mm-hmm.
won my championship against N, Alder, and Iris using my Embor. But like that shit kind of hurt. Okay, I had to go through trials and tribulations. Clay trial
Listen,
and
Embor is a good Pokemon overall. It has the highest HP and the highest attack from any of the starters in the fire variety. So he's good. He's just really, really slow. And
but that's
he gets to go home knowing to of being the only fire starter that can have access to a water type move, which is Scald.
yes, which is
So
why I'm like he's still up there. Don't get me wrong. I'ma always
mhm.
love my Embor. My Embor is sitting right here in my Pokemon home right now, and I'm like, give me the day for when I can bring out my first Pokemon, the one that
That's
started it
that's
all.
me with Superior. That's me with Superior. I am counting down the days that I can bring Superior and my whole brood of Superiors to like the new generation of games. Because like Samurott got his time of the day, like Pokemon Legends of Arceus with Oshawott being one of the starters. You potentially have like Hizui and Samurott, and like that's good for it. And I'm like, Yeah, I can see it. I'm looking forward to it. It's also one of the reasons why I was expecting the DLC because like the DLC could potentially mean that we can have the other two starters for the other trio that we're missing. With Cyndaquil, I was expecting maybe Hisuian Meganium, Hisuian Feraligatr, with a Rowlet, Hisuian Incineroar, Hisuian Primarina, and then potentially Oshawott, Hisuian Superior, Hisuian Emboar with the DLC because that would have been great. That would have been straight up fantastic. And you want to know how? It's because essentially what they could have done was like, depending on the initial starter that you chose the game with, this is just me Rick rolling, me doing like random like head cannons or stuff. Like, in no way or form, by the way, this is a very huge disclaimer. In no way or form am I claiming this is to be real because it's August and we haven't gotten no word for any DLC, no word from any update for the Pokemon Legends of Arceus games or something. And like the last update that we got was just a cosmetic option based on the Hisuian Snow special, but that's pretty much it. So essentially, what I thought was going to happen was that with the DLC, you could potentially unlock the other two starters to complete the trio with your original starter from the game once you reach that plateau of the additional area from Sinnoh, which I'm blanking really, really hard on the name. So I'm just gonna take a moment
Are you
now
talking about the
to
Temple Sinnoh, or are we talking about?
no. Okay, so what I'm talking about is essentially the oh my god, what was it called? Okay, so you remember when you finish the Sinnoh games and you get access to a new area within Sinnoh,
Are
but
you
it's
talking
like
about?
where you get Heatran in the games. You remember Heatran?
Oh, so you're talking about Stark Mountain?
No. Okay. Oh
Yeah,
my
the
god,
Battle
like let me just
Frontier.
yeah, the Battle Frontier area. Like
Yeah.
the whole Battle Frontier area. Well, I'm talking about that. I thought in Legends of Arceus we were gonna get potentially that,